Hi, and welcome to Terrifyingly Beautiful, starring David Robert.
That's me. And Kevin O'Connell.
There you go. Jesus, wait so long. It's like, I'm here as well.
I keep forgetting. It's like, oh, gosh. But
we're hoping, let's just say right off the bat, we're hoping that this sounds a little bit better because our last two podcasts sounded like screaming in your ears with David and Kevin.
Well, so talk about something that makes me anxious, right? So Kevin and I are pretty good planners, and we got our studio set up, and we just did not have pop filters for our microphone. So a lot of the B's and the P's kind of came through a little bit aggressively in the first couple episodes.
Never recorded a podcast before. We are learning, and we are growing.
It's an evolution.
It is an evolution. Yes. We're the Darwin of podcasts.
Kevin, episode 3. Can you believe it?
Episode 3, and here's, speaking of evolution, what kind of wine are you drinking today, David?
I'm drinking potato wine.
Oh, no. It's a lovely vineyard called Kettle One.
Yeah, that's my favorite vodka, with a little floating lime in there, so it's delicious.
The snoring chihuahua is still here.
Yep, Tootie's still here on her Britney Spears pillow, which is so wonderful.
She smells pretty toxic. The dog, not Britney Spears.
Oh, I have an update.
Oh.
So,
right off the bat.
as promised, I think it was 2 episodes ago, remember the conversation about salad bars.
Oh, God.
So, I went back to the salad bar at the casino.
You know, let me just preface this. I say preface a lot. I noticed that after listening, but we talk about a lot of gross stuff.
We do.
So, maybe not listen to this podcast when you're eating. Just a general rule. Just don't eat. It's a great weight loss plan.
Well, a lot of the shit that scares me is food related or like disease related.
Well,
so it can be a lot of that.
So
life related.
All right, so salad bars. You ventured back.
Kevin, I went back. I promised I would, and it wasn't that bad.
Was there an assault?
No, I took your advice. I got a drink first.
Okay.
A martini, actually, coincidentally. I hovered near the salad bar, and I saw a young lady come out with a refreshed tin of chicken breast.
And you tackled her.
And I ran over and grabbed the utensils and got my plate of chicken. It was great.
Wow, we are learning.
I was actually pretty proud of myself, to be honest with you.
Changing the world, David. And we are using these fancy filters right now, so I feel like we are in We Are the World.
I feel like Adele.
Secret dream. I always wanted to be in the We Are the World video.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like next to Cyndi Lauper, not next to Michael Jackson.
Oh my God! Well, he's dead now, but
I was a little young at that point. So, just security reasons. Too soon? No, it's fine.
Yeah, like 10 years ago, wasn't it?
We Are the World?
No,
Michael Jackson.
Jackson.
I don't know.
Oh God. Things. Yeah. Any updates from your side?
No, absolutely nothing.
No hotel stays.
Still a wreck. I did stay at a hotel, and it was okay. There were no dead nuns under the bed.
Well, I told you, my cousin listened to the podcast and texted me this morning and said that she had to get up in the middle of the night. She's at a hotel right now and look for a dead nun in the bed.
That's great. I feel that we have made the dead nun under the bed ratio lower through this podcast, so you're welcome.
Making folks more anxious than less anxious, right? So
yeah, well, that's what I kind of wanted to talk about. We talk about a lot of lighthearted things on this, but has your anxiety ever stopped you from doing something or caused you other physical... Has it manifested itself in other ways in your life where it's been, prohibitive?
Yeah. So I guess the example I'm thinking about is skydiving. So Pete, my partner, for my 40th birthday, so it was a couple of years ago, well, more than a couple, he told me about 2 weeks before the actual jump date, and I didn't sleep for 2 weeks.
Well, that's a mistake.
Well, first of all, I thought about, how my mind works, right? Anybody who has anxiety, you overthink and you go through every last scenario. I thought about every single way in which this could go wrong. The parachute won't open.
It's really only a few.
Kevin, keep in mind, when I was younger, my sister and her now husband, but at the time boyfriend, he wanted to go skydiving, and he was in line, and we were watching the first group go.
No.
Kevin.
No, I know where this is.
Look it up, Northampton, Massachusetts. The person jumped out of the plane in tandem, so the person had somebody strapped to their back. They jumped out, didn't see another small little Cessna plane in the area. They hit the wing of the plane.
No.
The plane crashed.
I didn't see a plane. I thought
the
you were going to say they
crashed. and like 5 people on the plane died or something.
Did
Maybe
they
one
survive the skydiving?
Yes, they did miraculously. I believe they survived, but
Holy
it doesn't. It puts sort of a
shit.
damper in your skydiving plans.
Well, I
So-
would have still been excited about sticking to landing, but I would have felt bad.
Well, the fact that I actually went on the trip and jumped out of the plane
And
is a
didn't cause a plane
miracle.
crash.
Yeah, it was a miracle. It was the most. And I know you and I have talked about skydiving and you
Well,
going pretty soon, but
Yes,
it's terrifying.
I'm pretty soon. We'll see. I would like to be like my last dying breath. You just push me out and I like land in my coffin. And I'm good.
No,
so
the incinerator.
I've been
You're getting
thinking about,
buried.
as we've been doing this, and I've been thinking more about anxiety and our, little tag that we throw at the end, life's crazy, you don't have to be. I've been thinking that life is shitty, right? So that it's a constant blast of negativity from everything, and we always talk about how there's really good things in life. Well, I kind of had this like Oprah aha moment where I was thinking, yeah, I love Oprah.
I miss Oprah.
Yeah, get Oprah on this podcast.
Oh my God, I would die from a heart attack.
Oh yeah, she would just talk over our dead bodies. And
Which would
Gail
still be
would
great.
there.
I love Gail.
I love Gail.
Don't forget, I grew up with Gail on the CBS Morning News, local in Hartford.
Ah.
I live in near
Oprah
Springfield,
Winfrey
Mass.
called me when I was 16. It's a whole other story. She really did.
What?
Have I ever told you that story?
No! Oh my God,
Oh,
Kevin.
yeah. I'm not telling you
Okay,
today.
save that.
Yes. So, but my aha Oprah moment was, life's going to be shitty no matter what you do. If you lock yourself in your house, life's still shitty. But it's always going to stay that way unless you venture out and try new things to make it less.
Of course.
So that was kind of my thing. Like, life's still going to be crappy unless you find it to not be. So don't stop doing something because you're worried you're going to have a bad time or a bad experience. You might have a good one, and make life that less shitty.
So I don't know who actually coined this phrase. I think I had a little postcard
Probably
in my
Oprah.
cubicle for years that had unknown as the source, but it said,
Why
"Don't
don't
just
they write that. Like, just leave it blank.
Yeah, unknown.
Yeah.
Don't. So it's the quote. I love it, and I actually carry it around in the back of my mind all the time. Don't just live the length of your life; live the width of it as well.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
I love girth.
Oh, God. You took that in a way different direction.
My usual. I actually have a sign upstairs that's attributed to Abraham Lincoln. I have no idea if it's true, but it says, "And in the end, it's not the life in the years, it's the
Years.
Nope, I did it
Oh,
backwards.
it's the
See?
years in the life.
The kettle one. Yeah, it's not the years in the life, it's the life in the years. Meaning, I don't care if you're 99, if you ain't done shit, good luck.
Do you know there are people who are in their retirement age who have never left the U.S., don't have a passport?
It's my grandmother.
And didn't I read some before Canada required a passport to travel to Canada? Wasn't like 30% of Americans had a passport?
Oh, yeah, it was
Less than that?
probably less than that.
Wow,
Someone Google that and get back to us.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so I have two very different grandmothers from either side. They've both passed on, but my father's mother saved her money, hid it in the rafters, and never did anything but peek out the windows and spy on her neighbors, and lived a very sad life, and she was a very mean lady. I could talk a whole podcast probably about her. And then my mother's mother and father, he would take her for dinner to Niagara Falls, and they would drive to Niagara Falls, have dinner, and drive back. So like, it's just a different way to look at the world.
That's
right?
pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Do you have anything? Because I looked up something from the last episode.
Oh, please go ahead.
Yeah. Or I don't know what episode it was. There are morgues on cruise ships.
I told you this,
I know.
Kevin.
I'm really looking forward to that ice cream. But
They have to. It's like 3,500 people. Many of those people are older.
right, it's
And-
gonna ruin your trip though if you know that grandma's in the freezer downstairs when you're like partying in Barbados.
Well, I told you. I mean, I've told the story a million times, and I'll probably beat it to death. But Pete went missing on the. I didn't know he was missing. He got like a norovirus, and he was in the infirmary for 2 days, and I didn't even know he was missing.
Okay, you didn't know he was missing, or you didn't go looking for him.
I didn't go looking for him. I was having too much fun, but
See, in my mind, I would have meant immediately to the bar first,
of course.
and then went
Hydrate.
to the morgue with a margarita. A margarita.
A margarita.
Oh my gosh!
Come on, that was planned.
Can't stand how clever I am.
That was planned.
It was not planned, actually. Margaritas.
So yeah, of course they have morgues on a cruise ship.
Yeah. Well, now you know.
Don't they have morgues like on airports too? Don't they?
I didn't. Why? Oh, because if they ship a body.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do? Roll the coffin up to the check-in desk?
Imagine
No.
if it came around a little carousel and Someone was like, "That's mine." No,
my
that's
God.
not.
It gets stuck in the exit thing,
And
like
put a little like red duct tape
don't,
on it, so you
don't.
know that one's yours.
Don't.
Ugh,
Oh my
so
God.
gross.
Okay, this is going the wrong direction. So,
Things that happened
oh
this
my
week.
God, this week, Kevin. Okay, so it occurred to me. So we all have smartphones, right? And well, most of us have smartphones, and
Anybody
so
who's anybody.
we
Really.
know, and we no longer recall people's phone numbers by the actual number. We have names, right? So Kevin, Kevin Cell, Kevin Home, Mom Cell, Mom Home. And it occurred to me that if under pressure or required, if like my iPhone went missing and I had to like dial someone's number, I wouldn't be able to recall it.
No. I could call Jenny Craig from the 90s ad. 1-800.
Or that song from the 80s. What's that one?
What? Oh, 86753.
Oh, that, yeah. Oh my
Another.
God.
I think the key is to have Jenny involved.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was the name. So I could do 911, right, obviously, but can I even call my own mother? Let me see, 4.
I know my parents' phone number.
I could do my mom, but I could do Pete, but I couldn't do your number. There's no way.
I literally know my parents' phone number. I don't even know my fiance's phone number. It's literally my parents, my sister, and my friend Tanya, who I've been friends with for over 30 years. That's it.
It's the problem, isn't it? There's a problem.
It is.
Like,
if I had an emergency, I'd probably want to call you, right? You're one of the more responsible people in my life, and no idea.
you don't know my number, really?
No.
I don't know yours either.
It's 5. No.
Is it 401?
Yeah, they're not giving it on.
Mine's 508, but I'm not going to the whole thing. But oh my God, isn't that weird?
Everyone, you're so super.
Yeah. Well, it's out there already. So it really started to kind of make me crazy. I was like, how is this possible that I can't recite the people in my closest network, including my family members? I don't even know their phone because there are people who are in my contacts who I have not dialed their number by the digits in over 10 years.
Phones are making us absolutely stupid. Like, it's. The funny thing is, it's like they're supposed to make life so much easier, but my life is not easier. I have just as much shit to do and worry about with the cell phone than I did before. Like, I have a calculator on me at all times. That has not changed my life at all.
No, yeah, of course not.
If anything, it's made me watch every television show and go, oh, I recognize that actress from somewhere, and then I have to like look it up, and then she was in like a made-for-TV movie from like, you know, my childhood, and I'm like, oh yeah, right, she played the mom.
Well, as you know, I have horrible like name recognition, so if it weren't for imdb.com, I wouldn't know half the crap I know now. So
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, I know that actress, she played in something, what was it? Oh my gosh. And then it's
Meryl
like
something.
Meryl. Yeah, she won
So
like
many
19
Meryls.
Oscars, yeah.
Can you name a kid Meryl nowadays?
Meryl. Where did I just hear this name Meryl?
Like, there's so many other
a man.
names that you... What? Meryl McMahon?
No, a man's name Meryl. I saw this somewhere.
Merle.
No,
that's
Merle
not-
Haggard.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know, I just feel like there's names you can't name people anymore. Like, I don't think anybody else is named Oprah. The dog is freaking out. You can't name anyone else Oprah.
I went
Uma.
to school with a kid. His name was Hubert.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bet he was super popular.
He was a sweetheart. Not popular, but he's a sweet kid. And I hope he's successful and killing it in this world. But
I
yeah,
think it goes by,
Hubert.
like, Hubie.
Hubie.
That's cuter. Hubert?
Hubert.
That's... No. It sounds like a cartoon duck's name.
That's okay. You know how we have a running list of why we don't have children?
Yeah.
Naming the child is another reason.
No,
I
because-
would like shut down.
Oh yeah, your partner would be like, what if we name the girl Donna? And you're like, oh, there's this Donna that I hate. I have such a long list of people that have pissed me off at one point in my life where the kid's name would end up being like, I don't know.
Kevin,
Plug.
so Pete and I got into... So, been together 21 years now. We got into one of the biggest fights of our relationship over naming our new dog.
Oh yeah,
I
you ended
wanted
up naming it after
because
liquor.
the Chihuahua with those big ears. I wanted to name it Dobby from Harry Potter.
Oh, I like that. I was there when you guys were having this conversation.
Yeah, and we ended up, which I love the name Hobbs. It's a little hobbit with the big ears, but I love Dobby. But he was like absolutely not. He's never seen a single Harry Potter movie. Can you believe this? The only person on the planet.
That's not right. But
And his best friend is a Harry Potter aficionado, Moira.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can you not have watched the movies?
I mean, I was going to say that was my childhood, but I was totally a grown adult when I watched and like, oh yeah, I bought the wand, I was sorted into a house, I went to the Universal thing. I'm perpetually 10.
Well, you and I have talked about going to
We're going.
Yeah, we
We're
have
going.
to.
Maybe they can like.
I've never. Am I the only person in the United States who's never been to Disney World
That is a fact.
and Universal Studios?
It's a fact. Yeah.
I can't believe it.
And your other dog is named after liquor.
It is. So
Yeah.
Wiki, I just for because I'm lazy, I just kind of write it Wiki. But she was actually named after whiskey without the S because we
Oh.
had these glasses and they had like a little chalkboard on them.
Right.
And you could write like your name on it so no one drinks out of your drink. And we
Mhm.
had written whiskey and then the S had kind of gotten rubbed off. And we saw Wiki, like, oh my god, it's a great name. And so off we go.
My dog is named. Ooh, I just hit my little thing. Dog's name is Tootie because she's little and black, like the facts of life.
Oh, I love the facts of life.
Kim Fields. I mean, the facts of life. I loved Mrs. Garrett. Girls.
Oh, God. Didn't she just die?
I don't think so.
She's still alive?
I think she's still alive.
I love Natalie.
Natalie was like every person who watched that show, just
my
like fat and
God.
watching TV.
And didn't the blonde
Blair,
she
was on
turned
Survivor.
like this conservative person?
Yeah, but she was really no. She was on Survivor, and she was like at least pretending to be like a good person.
Okay.
And, yeah.
And then what was
I
her
don't know.
name? The
Actresses
the
and
tough,
actors
the
are
lesbian
people.
one, the tough one.
Joe.
No, Nancy Nancy
but her name
McKean.
was Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
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 Like the Fonzie of Facts of Life.
Oh yeah, I mean they never had a coming out episode for Joe, but
Come on.
let's face it.
Well,
yeah.
you know, when were the Facts of Life big? Like in the 80s?
Yeah, the 80s.
Oh my God.
You know, David, you take the good and you take the bad, and when you take them both, that's when you have the facts of life. I just made that up.
I actually hate you about that. I really
Just made
do.
that up.
I don't think that way. I would never. I'm like, what is he talking about? But I totally get it now.
I know every TV theme song. All right, so here's my thing that happened this week. Before we get to your, David's like build up his topic every time he sees me. Wait until you hear my next topic, and I'm like, don't tell me. I want to be surprised.
You're gonna
And
lose
then-
your mind, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
so, David.
See, builds it up. Okay, so mine was I was driving back to my house the other day, and I had to pull over because 2 ambulances and a fire truck went down the street towards the direction of my house.
Oh,
So
boy.
I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but all of those trucks that pass me and go anywhere pointed north or wherever my house is located from where I am, they're going to my house to put out a fire. Do you feel that way?
Every time I hear a siren, I think my house is burning down.
Yeah. But it's like a moment of panic, and I definitely floor the gas a little bit and try to like go past them. And then when they go past, I break out into a cold sweat, and I go in and I appreciate.
You're worse than I am, actually, because I don't get into a cold sweat, but I certainly,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, like, did I leave the stove on? Then I realized, like, I haven't turned a stove on in 25 years, so it's
I
unlikely.
leave the stove on a lot.
You do?
It's bad.
You cook?
I love. I actually
Oh,
like cooking,
God,
but
no
I'll
way.
cook, and then we'll go watch like an episode of Schitt's Creek, which is like
Oh
the
my God,
best
I
show
love
right
that
now.
show.
So I'll watch.
Catherine
We'll be
Hare.
sitting there, and I'll hear the when like things get too hot, they like click or your house. So I'll hear the stove click, and I'm like, oh, I think I left that on, and I'll go in, and it's been on for an hour.
It's the carbon monoxide detector.
Yeah, well, I do have those for sure.
For a long time, you know, you hear stories about, like, you know, the parents and their 3 children
Weird
get,
Al
like,
Yankovic.
overwhelmed
Weird Al
with...
Yankovic's parents were both killed by carbon
Don't.
monoxide.
So was that tennis player. What was his name?
Arthur Ashe?
No.
No, I don't know.
Oh, God.
Martina never. No,
No,
that's
it'll come to me like halfway through the episode. But
Andy Roddick.
no, he's dead now. This guy, he
Andy
like was
Roddick's
like
not dead.
he was in the era of like John McEnroe, and he died from carbon
Sampras?
monoxide. They're still alive.
I'm naming the 6 tennis players.
It'll
I
come
know.
to me in a minute, but
Steffi Graf.
yeah, she's still Steffi. God.
She got stabbed, right?
Oh, you know who's pregnant is Serena Williams. She just announced it.
Oh, really?
She's out of the tour for a while. She's 20 weeks pregnant from the co-founder or the founder of Reddit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're engaged.
Good for them.
Anyways,
That was
way hard.
Welcome to
left turn.
Hard Left Turn, David and Kevin. I've
So
been coming up with alternate names for this podcast. Reeling
Yeah.
David In, starring Kevin O'Connell.
reel me in. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I had to reel you back to like 3 times about my big topic, and then you said,
What's your
"What's
topic for the
topic?"
week?
And I was like, I've been talking about it for 35 minutes, you dick.
Well, it's all about me usually, right?
Yeah.
So sorry.
All right, are we ready to do your big topic of the day?
Yeah, this could be. Oh God, this could be. We're only 19 minutes in, so we have plenty of time.
All right, let me settle in and take a sip. Go ahead.
And you know, so just to take a quick step back, so you know how my mind works, right? So when we're talking about like shortlisting topics for discussion for the episodes,
Mm.
I now have a list of over 100 topics. This could
Oh,
be a long,
jeez.
long series.
Yeah,
Um,
he told me he had a list of over 100 topics, and I said, "Welcome to episode 7132, live from the funeral
of
of Kevin
Kevin.
O'Connell."
So yeah,
So we just need to let that sink in for a minute. There are over 100 things that David could come up with off the top of his head that he can talk about on a national podcast.
well, hopefully international, but
Yeah, that's true. We really do have anxiety. We're just not two guys looking to do this. We're trying to expose everyone to our problems and talk about them and hope that you do the same with us and with other people in your lives and make it better. I asked you earlier about like if anxieties ever cause you to stop things. I had an ulcer at 24.
An ulcer?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Kevin.
I had an ulcer at 24. I was at work one day and I had an upset stomach and I told my boss that I should probably take the rest of the day off. And he said, "Oh, we can't find you coverage." And I said, "Well, I just throw blood in the toilet." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And so I went to my doctor, and the doctor said something to me that kind of it actually helped me a lot because I was really, believe it or not, worse then than I was now. Like, I would not sleep. I would stay up thinking about things, overanalyzing. And he said, "Kevin, is it really going to matter in 100 years? Like, none of this stuff is going to matter if you're not around because you're the only one worrying about it." And
Okay.
it kind of changed the way I look at things and cleared it up. I took the medicine that I was supposed to take for a little while and really had to kind of step back and look at things differently and say, if I die because of this, or if I am not able to live my life because of my fears, shouldn't that be my biggest fear?
Well put. I can say, just to kind of add on to what you said, I had a wonderful childhood, a beautiful childhood.
Me too,
My mom was
yeah.
an amazing mom. I had so much fun, and I'll share those stories in other episodes. But my teens were a shit show. I had crippling OCD. I mean, when I say crippling, I was convinced, and I laugh at it now, but it was like scary as shit when I was 14, 13. I was convinced that I was going to get poisoned.
Oh.
And so I had to do everything in threes. Like I had to walk through a doorway 3 times, or I had to tap on somebody 3 times. It was so. And can you imagine the teasing in high school, right? So
Oh yeah,
in junior high school.
I've never dealt with OCD,
Oh
but I
my
cannot.
God! I washed my
say that,
hands
but I
so
don't know if
much.
anything I've done would have classified as that.
I washed my hands so often because I was afraid I had poison in my hands that I was I had raw bleeding fingers. It was crazy, and it was a torture. But I, much like you just explained, I said, "Fuck this! I don't want to live my life this way." And so I, much like you hear about comedians who have a very dark, have a lot of sadness or depression. I mean, we hear about it all the time, right? So Robin Williams, as an example, I turned to humor. And so I became the comic in high school, and then I had to just for survival, and I just sort of made it part of my life.
Everyone feels these things, and unless you talk about it and realize this is actually normal thoughts, and find a friend like I have in David, find your community, and just talk about it and do things together and work it through together.
Exactly.
You have to.
God, absolutely.
I don't know if you noticed in my eyebrow. There's a bald spot in my eyebrow.
I've never noticed that.
Well,
now I see it. Now you pointed it out.
That's because I really had an issue where I would get so stressed out that I wouldn't even be conscious of I was doing it. I would sit on the couch and just be watching television, and I would pull out eyebrow hairs.
Doesn't that hurt?
I guess it's called trichotillomania.
Oh boy.
Also, I've never seen a therapist. Have you ever seen a therapist?
Absolutely. With OCD? Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm too much of a control freak to let anyone tell me what to do, but I encourage people to, if you can't find a friend to talk through this, or you live someplace where you can't find someone nearby, go see a therapist, talk the shit out.
My therapist, this is back when I had OCD big time,
Pencil in your eyebrow.
was hilarious. Hilarious.
Is a very fine line usually between therapist and patient, right?
It's so funny. Oh my God. And I was much like you, precocious, sarcastic child, right? And oh my God, we would just kind of play up each other. It was a ton of fun.
Precocious is a fun name we give to children when it's really like as soon as you hit puberty, it's like you're an asshole.
You're an asshole.
I know, and I wear that badge proudly because I don't know. I'm nice to. I really think I am kind to most people.
You are a kind person.
I don't accept.
Except in an escape room.
Yeah, well, I don't accept mediocrity. And I don't know. I always want the best for everyone, and sometimes it comes out the wrong way for me because I get frustrated that I can't help them more. Anyways.
Okay, so my topic.
Your big topic.
Okay.
I digressed a lot. Hard Left Turn starring David
Okay,
Harbour.
so again, I'm
just going to shake the
debated
dogs.
whether I should bring this topic up so early in the episodes, like it's episode 3, right? But I said, you know what, screw it. It's, again, given, or despite some of the other topics around dying, right, the serious ones,
I'm like holding my breath.
This causes me, on a daily basis, the most anxiety out of any topic I'm going to discuss from here on out.
Well, okay, I'm gonna ready myself because I
have to have a sip of my vodka. Oh, hold on, because it's going to be a long discussion.
Okay, David just took a big sip.
Oh my god. I live in a constant state of fear of the possibility of having to poop in public. And now, not like behind the cosmetic counter at Macy's. I mean, like in a public restroom, right? So
this is going to be harder for me than the salad bar.
I
really don't want to talk so openly about these.
You don't understand, Kevin. This is
no. I promise you, I do.
Oh
when
my
you
God.
hear what I
okay.
I'll
give the backstory. Because everything has a story, right? So you know that I have a very sensitive digestive system.
Yes.
So I have just for like transparency, I have IBS, and so the best way, irritable bowel syndrome. The best way to describe IBS is that your brain and your colon are in a bromance, and
a bromance.
Yes, and neither can do something on their own. They have to do it collectively.
Okay.
So every time I get amped up about something, or I'll sort of like anxious, it plays out through my colon. And you know where this is going, right? So
well, I know that everyone's going to know this about you now.
It's in the book.
Okay, that's true, isn't
so
it?
It's out there, right? So some additional information. So I have not successfully pooped in public since 1973, which is the last year I was in diapers.
So listen, I actually can help you through this because as a child, my parents sent me to a doctor because I used to poop once a month. Once a month.
A month?
A month.
Oh my God, Kevin! You distended bowel?
No. So they actually took me to a gastroenterologist, and the doctor was like, "If that's how often he poops, that's how often he poops." And it was not a thing, but it was all because of anxiety. Throughout all of middle school, all of elementary school, and all of college, never once used a public bathroom, and that's to go either number.
Okay, so
this is true.
You're supposed to help me though.
I'm going to tell you, I've gotten past it.
Well, let me tell the story though. So I mentioned to you a moment ago, I have not successfully taken a dump in public since 1973. I've attempted a couple of times.
Turn this off if you're eating dinner.
Yeah, I mean, we told you. You gave the warning earlier.
Yeah, we're disgusting.
So it's not that I haven't tried. But here's a couple of stories. So, oh my God. I will say, actually, it's more of an asterisk to that. I haven't successfully taken asterisk.
Okay, I thought you were trying to be clever with that.
No, I'm not that clever, Kevin.
Okay.
So, in the U.S. Now, in Dubai, if you have any bowel issues or like public defecation issues, move to Dubai. These folks, clearly, the person responsible for designing public restrooms has this phobia.
They put the do in
when
Dubai.
I tell you, the stalls, yeah, I know.
I just can't
oh my God. So the public restrooms in Dubai are fucking ridiculously awesome. So each stall. No, that's not India. Dubai is not in India. It's the United Arab Emirates. That's Mumbai.
That's like nearby.
Oh my God! Did you watch like Slumdog Millionaire, where the kid fell into the cesspool?
Oh yeah. Just at that point, I would be like, "How can I die in here?"
Just stay there.
Yeah.
Okay, so each individual stall in Dubai has 2 rooms. You walk into the first room, and it's floor to ceiling walls.
Yeah.
Thick walls. The door locks behind you, a little washroom. You go in the second room, that door locks, and that's where your toilet is. And they pipe like white noise and music into it. It's like perfect environment to take a shit. That's a perfect environment.
It'd be even better if after you were done, you go back into the first room, and then second room just fills with fire, burns any chance that you were even there.
Yes, no. Well, that's probably coming, I'm sure. But so in the U.S., I don't know who designs these restrooms. Some sadistic fuck. Because, like, first of all, there's a gap of like 6 inches in between the door and the wall. You could shake someone's hand who's washing their hands at the sink.
Why is that? Why, even between the stall and the wall, if you want to watch someone poop, it's so easy.
I blame it on Republicans because remember the wide stance.
Oh yeah, and the tapping.
They're probably worried about like Republicans getting around.
Like, so if Jesse and I, my fiance and I, ever have to use the bathroom together, and he always uses a stall because urinals will be a whole separate thing.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, I will tell you, I've gotten over my bathroom fears.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay,
so he'll always use the stall, and I'll find the urinal right next to it, and I'll always tap my foot.
Oh no!
Okay, so he always goes, "Hey, Senator." It's just.
Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this whole thing about transgender bathrooms thing is ridiculous, right? When it's like, more scared of like straight male Republicans, but well, I'm gonna say straight. So. Okay, so here's my story about my attempts to go poop in public.
And I'm going to share one of mine, too.
Okay.
Yep.
So, the first one, I'll start with, like, I think the least embarrassing, then I'll go to the most embarrassing. So, I'm on a flight.
Oh.
Going to Dubai.
Yeah.
Right? I won't say the airline, but in the news a lot right now. And you think, like, oh, it's not really public, because you're alone in the bathroom. And you have the white noise from the engines, and everybody's kind of like...
The airplane bathroom is the most public bathroom, because there's always a line.
A line.
And you have
Kevin,
a limited amount of suspects to know who did what.
Kevin, oh my God. So I was in my seat, and I kind of felt something brew. I go, well, it's 12 hours left in the flight. I better do something. So I go to the bathroom.
12 hours left?
Well, it's a 14-hour flight from Dubai to DC. Oh. So, and we're like a couple hours into it. We had just eaten our meal.
We invented hypersleep.
Yeah, I know. Come on. Like, yeah. So, time traveling. So, I grab my iPhone with my earplugs because I have to have like... So, just a quick side note. My perfect environment, if I had the perfect environment to shit...
Just listen to Sade.
No... Burt Bacharach soundtrack,
No.
Nobody's voice makes me poop faster than Dionne Warwick.
Oh, really?
I can't even get to the first chorus. No, I can't even get to the first chorus and like walk on by. It's like fuck the squatty potty. It's like Dionne Warwick. It's like whoosh.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious. I don't know why. So I actually just used her. I actually just brought her up.
That's using her.
I just brought her up on YouTube today because I had a hard time going poop this morning, and like it was like instantaneous. It was crazy.
Oh,
sorry, Dionne.
Does Whitney Houston work? Because they're related.
I know, but like totally different voice.
That would be amazing if right at the moment of when it's like that pause,
flush the toilet.
Yo, I mean that's epic.
So I get my earbuds, and I didn't have Dionne Warwick on my iTunes, but I had like Ellie Goulding or something like that. So I closed the door. I closed the door. I put my earbuds in, and I was kind of like on the toilet, hunched over. I can't believe I'm talking about this, but whatever. So I have like my head in my hands because I'm like trying to coach it out, right?
Oh, God.
Well, Kevin, it's probably like a half minute, and I look up, and the fucking door had popped open.
No.
It's a true story. The door had popped open, and there was like the flight attendant was like sitting down reading the paper, doing a crossword puzzle because like it's like downtime for them. It was the middle of the night, like 2 a.m, right? And like 4 people were kind of like in line chatting, and they all look over. I don't know how long the door was open. It had to be at least 20 seconds. And there I am, like, oh my God! And so I can't stand up to close the door.
Right.
So I was like, can you? And so the flight attendant kind of got up and she kind of closed the door, and I had to like put the latch over, and I was like, this is why I don't go poop in public. There's too many witnesses.
Well, there is also those. We were talking about hotel room security. Airport bathrooms. There's got to be a secret way to open it, right? Because if something ever happened in there, there's like a way you push that little lock that they can open it at any time.
Oh, down.
It's true.
Okay, I'll never go bathroom. So, okay, now next story. Actually,
also they have 12 hours of your waste flying through the air.
No, don't they release it instantly somewhere, like over the ocean, or didn't a cruise ship just get firebomb
Well,
with like a plane's poop.
Oh, God.
Yeah, a plane accidentally released all of its like waste over a cruise ship, and like 19 people were injured or something.
No ice cream social is gonna fix that cruise. Oh my
Can
God.
you? It was like in the Caribbean, and a plane had accidentally opened the chute, the poop chute. No pun
Can
intended.
you please make a link to that in our Twitter?
We have to, and like 19 people who were out in the pool area got bombarded with like big chunks of like poop ice.
Okay. Oh, we have Twitter now. It's
We
at
do have Twitter.
terrifyingly
B.
because the real name's way too long. But,
And if you ever need to get a hold of us, we love, and we actually have a mini episode coming up. We have
we got
a
some
listener who had
viewer
this funny story,
please
but
send more.
terrifyinglybeautiful at gmail.com.
gmail.com. Yeah. So we have all those social media things which we're too old and have no business using, but we're gonna try to figure it out.
Snapchat.
No. It's good for dick pics and nothing else.
Yeah.
But terrifyingly B. Because the other way to shorten our name is like TB. And
TB. That's like tuberculosis. Yeah, and it's taken probably.
Tuberculosis is taken.
All right, so here's my second story.
You have two?
Yeah, Kevin, this is the worst story. It's so embarrassing, but like, this is why when I go into a public restroom and I see the stalls, I just like have a nervous breakdown.
Well, they're gross no matter what.
This bathroom actually was not that bad. It's actually at an airport, and it was actually pretty clean. It was in Detroit in Terminal A, which is like the Delta terminal. It's actually pretty clean.
Well,
so
I also hate bathroom attendants. That's the worst job ever, right?
No, the worst job is probably when you go to those little peep show places, and you get to mop everything up.
Oh,
yeah, that's probably
God.
the worst. They actually have an IRS job code for that job.
Mopper?
Yes.
Sperm mopper?
I don't know why I know this.
No, why do you...
I don't know. It came up in a conversation
also,
one time.
Like,
I'm sorry.
do that at home now.
Yeah.
It's... Right?
I know, but anyways, so...
Okay.
So, I'm in the airport, the worst place to have to go poop, right? So, and I have a flight coming up, and then, you're like, 40,000 feet, and it just screws your intestines up, you're
dropping
bloated.
it on cruise ships.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God. So, I go, you know what, let me give it a try. So, I go in the stall, and... it was partly productive, and there's no toilet paper.
We know way too much.
Why did we not know about this before? I didn't look at it before I went in. I just, went in. So
no one looks.
So I can't I can't stand up and leave the stall, right? Because in case someone comes in, so I kind of like bend over and look down the line of all the stalls. I see no feet. So I go, I'll just kind of like crouch below the wall and like kind of shimmy into the next stall and grab the paper towel roll or the toilet paper roll, right? So
with your pants down?
I know, it's crazy. Oh my
God,
Did you
Kevin,
really
do that?
Kevin, this is a true story. So I get down on the ground. I'm crawling under the stall. No. I'm crawling under the stall. I have my hand on the toilet paper roll.
There's no underneath the stall. Oh, you were in the airport.
I'm underneath the stall.
I thought you were on the plane.
No,
okay.
I'm in the airport now. I'm like, I have my hand on the sort of second toilet paper roll, and I'm ready to grab it.
And someone's in there.
No, somebody opens the door of that stall to go into the stall, and I'm like between the two stalls, my pants are on my ankles.
Oh my God.
Like looking up, I go, hi. And the guy was like, whoa, and I was like, it's a long story. It's a really long story.
Out,
yeah.
Back away.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, and that person was on my flight, right? So I was like,
you're telling that story to someone right now. Yeah.
So I just can't.
Fondue and Sheboygan.
I just can't go to the bathroom in public anymore. I just can't do it. I will hold it in, not a month like you when you're a kid. Yeah. I will hold it in until I am in the right environment. I don't care what it takes.
So my thing ended in college. A bunch of us decided to drive to Disney World, right?
From here?
From here.
That's a long drive.
So we get in the car that we had borrowed, like someone's car, and we get halfway down there, and we were like, does everyone know how to drive stick? And then you hear, no. And then you hear, shit. So one of us knew how to drive stick. I tried to learn to do it in Atlanta. It was a disaster.
Impossible.
So we get down there, and it's four of us sharing one of those little-ass hotel rooms in the Disney World property. Not the nice ones, because we were poor college kids. And then you gotta go, right? So they all have no problems and talk about it as openly as you just did. But I'm decided, well, I can't do that, because I'm just coming off once a month. So I said, well, I'm going to go down to the hotel lobby. Well, I ruined that hotel lobby bathroom.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's just a moment where like I wanted to check out and just start driving home. So I knew at that moment where it had to change, and you know, everybody poops, like the book says.
So, okay.
It really is. It's. I bet you.
I'm going to reach in that pocket. I have a little.
Well, as disturbing as you were to talk about this in public or on a podcast,
sorry, I had
everyone talks about. Everyone does it. Like Beyonce poops, Barack Obama poops.
Beyonce does not poop. Barack probably poops, but I don't think. I think she kind of mists.
She mists. Oh, that would be worse.
So I have his word written down because when I was doing some research for today's episode,
Yeah.
I was like, this can't be a real thing. It's a real thing. The fear of pooping in public is called parcopresis. Parcopresis.
Was there a phobia at the end?
No, it's called parcopresis.
I know, but like the
Presis.
fear of heights is like
Parcopresis.
Parcopresis.
And the fear of peeing in public is called pararesis.
Pureris. Yeah, like,
Yeah. But
wow.
it's not crazy. So it's not just me. Others are suffering too.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Well, Kevin, didn't you have some suggestions for me? You told me you had something that would help me.
Yeah, just stop pooping.
Stop eating.
Well, try to eat properly so that you become regular, right? So when people say regular, it should be that you're going on the regular, which means, like, you have breakfast, you have a cup of coffee, and that's when you go. But whenever you travel... Your excretions should be part of your pre-travel plan. There's always going to be circumstances when surprises arise.
That's the issue with me. So as an example, I'm on a schedule, right? I'm pretty consistent, but like, let's say that I have to get up earlier to catch a flight. It throws the whole thing off. And then the whole system
is we are shamed as Americans. We're shamed as probably more countries, whatever, to be ashamed of our bodily functions. But the fact is, you go back to that stupid book, everybody poops. And I guarantee you the person next to you, if you're having a moment where things are sounding bad and maybe smelling bad...
Like trying to squirt the last piece of ketchup out of the ketchup bottle.
That person's going to be... Oh,
sorry.
Thank you. But that person's going to be maybe initially grossed out, but understand... Maybe just raise one fist in the air silently to be like, I've been there, brother. It's true. We've all had issues from Prince Charles down to Charo.
Everyone's pooped. I know, I get it, but it creates a lot of anxiety for me.
Well, it's probably more the fact that you don't want to feel ashamed by someone else who's witnessing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the whole phobia, is having even an imaginary witness to it.
Yeah.
So it's, anyways, I will say I am getting a little bit less anxious about it. I can actually pee at a urinal now without having anxiety. That was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Which is fine now. No problem
People
at all.
are going to look at your wiener.
No, they have walls now.
Most of them don't. Some of them are like carved out, so it's like a wiener window.
Okay, so like 20-something years ago, I was at this like county fair somewhere.
I've looked.
And you have to.
Yeah.
And you literally, it was like a cast iron tub, and guys just kind of like went around the tub and peed into it.
Yeah, there's still places like that.
So you're peeing, and the person right across from you is also peeing.
Oh yeah.
And like,
it's like the opposite of cows eating.
Remember I told you in the previous episode, we talked about peeing on people, and I kind of jokingly said I peed on somebody. Yeah. Well, it occurred to me, I actually have, because a friend of mine, Matt, told me how he taught me how to pee at like a concert. When you're out in a field, like Dave Matthews concert, and you just can't find the restroom, or you can't leave because you're like trapped in. And he like trained me how to pee in a cup when nobody can see you, because everybody's looking at the stage, and I accidentally peed on somebody in front of me. But oh my god, yeah.
Well, now that person's gonna be listening and gonna sue your ass.
No, it was a long time ago. But
Dave Matthews, remember when they were good?
Well, I have a whole upcoming episode about Dave crowds.
Matthews. Oh well, yeah.
I mean.
Agoraphobia.
Don't.
Oh, that's open places.
That's open places. That's like leaving the house, right? No, I have a whole episode about large crowds. But so I'll save that episode. I'll save the Dave Matthews conversation. The person who knew the most
about my bathroom issues was my mother, and she knew about the 1 month thing. I told you all that. Well, there was I don't even know that I've told close friends this story. Now I'm going to tell everybody.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so there was a moment when I was a kid, and it was my once a month, celebration.
May 32nd.
Yeah, May 32nd. My mom's birthday is May 31st.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh. And there was a moment where I would have probably ruined the plumbing of the house where it was severe. And my mother, I had to tell her what was happening, and she fixed it with a plastic Stop and Shop bag in the window. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you got to say that full story.
No, I think that I feel like you can fill in the blanks there.
Yeah, okay. Oh, gosh. Your poor mother.
Mother's love knows no limits.
Your poor mother. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, she will tell that story. So, search down my mother.
We have to have her on here as a guest.
I feel like if we get a year under our belt, we'll wait till next Mother's Day, and then we'll put our mothers on, and then just forget it. Like, we won't get a word in. My mom's deaf, too. So she will never listen to this podcast.
Not a mute. Like, I missed it.
Yes.
Sorry.
Deaf people are not mute.
I listened back to that podcast. I felt so bad about calling Marley Matlin a mute, but...
You don't have ill intent behind it.
No, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah. There was someone who... found like a Braille book, and they like showed it to me, and they were like, "Would this be something your mom would like?"
Braille? She's blind.
That's for blind people, but close.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to. Are we done about poop?
Please.
Okay. Thank you. I might have to go soon. So, I kind of wanted to close out on a positive note. So I was driving Pete to work this morning, and I realized, like, I don't know why you're in traffic and you're at a light and you sort of focus on people's like license plates, right? You know that from your license plate, but I've noticed a lot of, and we actually have one because Pete was a war veteran, served, for 22 years in the military and 2 rotations overseas, and so we have a war veteran plate.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them out there,
yeah.
and I just kind of wanted to give a shout out to, because this all came about last week when you and I and Jesse and Pete were having dinner, and we got the fortune cookie at the end of the meal. And it said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it said something like, bravery is the capacity to perform appropriately even when you're scared to death.
I love that.
Right? And I'm thinking, like, oh, I'm brave. Every day I go out there in their universe and all my anxieties. But,
I pooped in public today.
Yeah, I pooped in public. Yeah, that's hero. Bullshit. The real heroes are the ones who put their ass in the line so that we can actually have this podcast, right? So,
absolutely.
And I don't think they get enough acknowledgement and enough support. So I just kind of, and I was thinking about that today, and I was like, you know what? We don't do enough, I think, as a society. I think if you put your ass in the line, I don't care if it's for 10 seconds in a battle.
It's the most selfless thing you can do.
You come back to the U.S., you should have retirement, health care,
forever,
right?
Hand jobs.
Absolutely. Whatever you need. I'll be first in line.
I am just a firm believer of, we talk a lot of crap about this country right now and the bad state we're in. I still truly believe it's one of the best places to live.
Absolutely.
For anyone who is willing to throw down their life and look at the news, people do lose their life for this
bravery,
country.
Not taking a shit in a public restroom.
And that is true. That's a true American.
Yeah, so I just wanted to pass that along. So.
Yes, I feel like we should have a flag like slowly waving in the background.
Maybe we'll close it out with like the national anthem or something.
Yeah. But so my positive thing today is for people with anxiety, finding the one thing that brings you less anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't care what it is, as long as it's legal. Like, sometimes I think the world is a scary, crappy place, but there were dinosaurs.
That's true.
Right? And you know what? Having a bad day? Think about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're fucking
getting
awesome.
Swallowed by something no, sorry.
No.
I know. But see, I can't help myself. It's always about getting eaten by something.
No, they're cool. They're cool as shit.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm in this mindset. I am a 4th grader always. But yeah, having a bad day? T-Rex. It's true. I promise you. Just think about it.
T-Rex,
and
yeah.
Oh shit, that existed and that was cool.
And so did the Golden Girls.
Yeah. Speaking of T-Rexes.
Anyways,
all right, guys.
All right.
We love you. Find a friend.
Yes.
Face your fears.
We'll see you soon.
Life is crazy.
Take care.
You don't have to be. Jesus, David.
What? Oh, sorry. I missed that whole thing, didn't I? Yeah. Let's start over again. I'll do that.
No, did you cut it off?
No, I'll cut it. No, it's still going. I'll edit it out.
Oh, don't cut it. Just end it there. It's real.
Yeah.
Life is crazy. So
You don't have to
standard.
be.
Bye.
Bye.